Make sure you're lifting weights, but don't lift too heavy because then you're going to get bulky. Only lift the 1 pound weights because that's only going to give you tone. It's all a mess. It's all so confusing. And it actually doesn't need to be.
No.
You just have to stick to a path and be consistent.
Totally agree.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, we are here.
I'm Laura Schara.
I'm Kristin. We've been friends for a really long time. And there are lots of times where we are doing walks or doing phone calls where we say, God, we should have this recorded. As our friendship has deepened and as we've gotten a little bit older, not revealing ages right now, but a little bit older, I have a birthday coming up. We felt like there's so much wisdom that you gain every single decade of your life. And so it's just fun for us to be able to share it. And again, we have so much in common. We're going to talk about everything from nutrition to energy to strength training to dog training and everything in between.
Everything in between. But I think today we're going to focus a little bit on protein because protein seems to be like a hot topic now. It's been a hot topic in our lives for many, many years, yes. But it's finally on the forefront of all of this talk about how much protein you need to get in a day. And we were talking about this earlier. I had you on the Minnesota Bomb podcast, yes. And we were talking all about the protein. And we hear a lot of times how people struggle to get the amount of protein that they need in throughout the day. And you and I kind of giggle because we're like, I feel like I could just keep eating it throughout the night. I don't know about you.
We do. So when people say, oh my God, but like, how do you get 100 grams of protein? Laura and I are like, 100? What? 100? How do you not get 100?
Are you starving? How are you only eating 100? And it can be overwhelming. I have friends of mine that say it is truly overwhelming for them to get protein in by, it's the weighted vest, it's the walks, it's how many steps during the day, it's the protein, it's the sleep, how many hours of sleep, plus kids and work and everything else. And the protein consumption seems to overwhelm people. But so today I think we're going to give some tips. Let's give some tips on how people can get the amount of protein that they need. But first, I think it's really important to really understand like exactly how much protein do you really need? Because I think on average, as we know, people are under eating protein significantly and they're spinning their wheels, wondering why they can't lose weight, all of those things. So there is a formula for this on how much protein you need.
Yes.
We'll let you answer that.
Yes, there is. Expert. Okay. And before I do that, I just have to say, because of what you just shared, have you seen that woman on Instagram, Big Time Adulting?
No, but I'll look it up.
No, I haven't. I can't believe I haven't sent you her before. She has these hilarious reels where she's like, ladies, are you trying to lose weight in menopause? And she does this very like dry, the way she speaks. But she basically says, don't forget about protein. She's like, you have to take your body weight, multiply it by all this number of stars in the sky. And that's how many.
It's so true. And why do the complicate or the calculations have to be so complicated? Because they kind of are.
And every time I watch her, I like die laughing because she's like, oh, and you need a weighted vest.
Yeah.
You have to get at least 10,000 steps a day. Don't forget about your steps. And constantly joking.
Totally.
And at the end of it, she's always like, and oh my God, if you're not getting at least 8 hours of sleep, none of this matters.
Totally. And all erases. All of it. And then do cardio, but don't do cardio. Don't too much cardio. Make sure you're lifting weights, but don't lift too heavy because then you're going to get bulky. Only lift the 1 pound weights because that's only going to give you tone. It's all a mess. It's all so confusing. And it actually doesn't need to be.
No.
You just have to stick to a path and be consistent.
Totally agree. And I love that you just use the word consistent because honestly, that's what I see for sure my clients have the most issue with. They try something. It's like, okay, I'm going to try keto. And then after 4 days, they don't want to do it because it's too restrictive.
Yep.
So then it's like, okay, I read vegan was good. So now I'm going to do that. Okay. Then they're not getting any protein. So then they're going to try some sort of carb cycling. But I said, you're not doing any of this with any length of time. The only reason you and I have been successful for so long in keeping really good body composition is that we've been consistent.
Years, actually.
Like years.
Yeah.
When did you start lifting weights?
I started lifting weights 10 years ago now, like heavy. And I was on the cardio train since high school.
Yeah.
I did aerobics and then all the group fitness classes. And I'm not throwing shade at them at all. They're actually a lot of fun. And if it does give you exercise, all the more power to you. I did all the spinning, but for my body shape and my body proportions and all those things, I was just spinning my wheels and
like literally.
Yes. And getting injured and not ever really. And I was like not starving myself, but really counting every calorie and just not seeing any changes. Mm-hmm. And it's finally, I found a trainer and I had to believe in the system because when you start lifting weights, you're not going to see results in a month, too much. You'll see some, but you're really not going to see significant body composition changes where you're like, oh, my booty's looking really good in these jeans.
Right.
That's for sure a year. Or, I mean, you have to really be honest with yourself, depending on how hard you're going to train. I think the average person, with the amount of time we really have, you can train really hard. And I started really training hard when I started Discover Strength. We'll get to that later. But it does take time. And consistency is key. And actually, these boring workouts that are consistently progressive overload, which means keeping track of the amount of weight you're lifting, the reps, and actually increasing your weight. That's what progressive overload means for general terms. Because a lot of time you hear that word and you're like, what does that even mean?
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
But just know it's going to take time, but the results will show up.
Yeah. One of my favorite quotes, and I don't remember who said this, so sorry, but it's, if you like to work out, you're doing it wrong. It's like, that's
so true. That is
really
so true.
So it's like, I kind of always say I have this love hate with DS. Like I hate it when I'm walking in and I love it when I'm walking out.
Yeah.
But I've been so consistent for this many years and I lifted before that. So I started lifting in like, I don't know, I was 14. And it was in part because I was hanging out in the weight room and I just wanted to get strong and I was always watching my dad lift. And so
I wish I started when I was 14.
Yeah.
Or 15.
I always say it's one of the things is why I have such young muscle because I started so young, you know? And then I discovered Discover Strength when I was about 30. So I started lifting there when I was 30, which was just a game changer because I had a really busy law practice at the time. And of course, gone were the days of, oh, I'm going to run for an hour and then I'm going to lift upper body. And then the next day, run for an hour and lift lower body. The next day, run for an hour, upper body. No one has time for that.
No.
And so just to be able to do things more efficiently, and again, we'll talk about that later, but we just started this with getting back to protein. So
yeah, we got you back to protein.
Okay. So protein helps you build muscle. This is why it's so important. So when we're eating protein, what is it that you really need? What your body's getting from protein is amino acids. So that's really the substrate that's going to help you build muscle. And a fun fact that I love to share about protein is protein cannot be stored on your body.
Nope.
So this is why it's so good for burning fat because you can't store it. Like it doesn't go into your fat cells. Now, if you over consume protein, and it's real hard to do.
Yes.
You know, if you get to a threshold of like 200 grams of protein a day, which I've done before, you're going to be like, ugh, because you just don't want to eat any more of it. But let's say you still do, it will convert into glucose in your body. And then that could get stored depending on your caloric intake. So it really can't be stored on your body. It's used to repair your tissues and to build muscle. So it's a recovery macronutrient. We call protein a macronutrient. We call carbs a macronutrient, and we call fat a macronutrient. And that's just because they're nutrients that we need to get in larger quantities in order for our health.
Yes. And you're strictly talking about just the protein. So sometimes people think a ribeye is all protein. A ribeye is a lot of protein and also a lot of fat. So too much fat or too much carbs can also obviously be stored as some body fat on.
Yeah.
So protein, just straight protein. So that I think is just keep that in mind. You know, obviously that's why you may want to choose at times depending on your macros or whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
And how much. That's why you weigh everything and add in the keep track of your calories.
I'm so glad you mentioned weigh everything because there was a lot of people that say, oh, I just can't lose weight. And I said, well, are you tracking? Are you weighing? And it's like, no, it's just too hard. It's too confusing. I just sort of guess. And I'm like, we've talked about what we've done with guessing.
Yeah.
And we're not accurate.
No.
Every time I go off plan, meaning when I don't track or when I don't weigh, every single time I gain weight.
Same. And actually, I also find that sometimes if I've been under eating, you don't even realize it.
Yes.
Because when you weigh out chicken or beef or whatever protein you're eating, sometimes I've surprised myself on how much more I get to eat because I want to get to 5 or 6 ounces a meal.
Yes.
That I actually, if I was just to guesstimate, like one chicken breast sometimes can be 3 or 4 and you may not even realize it.
Yeah.
And you think you're eating more protein than you are.
Yeah.
So weighing is very important. It's super easy to do. I mean, a kitchen scale is what, $10?
Exactly. Yeah. You can get it on Amazon. The one I recommend is Ozeri, O-Z-E-R-I. It's like a super easy scale. And I always tell people once, especially when you start, I mean, you don't have to weigh your food forever. Laura and I are a little nuts. We like to weigh our food. We like to be intentional. But if you don't want to do it forever, just do it for a period of time. Do it for like a month. So you have a really good sense of what does 4 ounces of meat look like? What does 6 ounces of meat look like? You know, all of those different, just so you can eyeball it. People say 4 ounces is like a deck of cards. No, I disagree.
I agree too.
Right?
I feel like I feel like 4 ounces is more than a deck of cards.
I do too. That's what I say. So I'm like, you got to weigh it because you don't want to shortchange yourself because, and this is research that I've learned from one of my friends, Dr. Gabrielle Lyon. She's sort of one of these doctors who put on the map this 30 grams of protein at each meal. And when I listened to her give a talk at a health conference I was at several years ago, she was saying, I want you to think of 30 grams in each meal as you can't be a little bit pregnant. Yep. So you either are pregnant or you aren't pregnant. So if you have 20 grams of protein in a meal,
Doesn't count.
It doesn't count.
No.
It just doesn't count. And I know that's so annoying. People think this is where it gets complicated. But if you just remember that, like every time I sit down to eat, I need to plan my meal around 30 grams of protein. So, and by the way, I can't wait to start talking about this because how many eggs, Laura, would we have to eat?
Oh, here we go. Okay, can we just talk about avocado toast with 1 egg on it in the morning? It's so not a meal with protein on it.
No.
I've seen a lot of failures at breakfast. I will say that. And even in an omelet, there's probably not enough protein in the omelet you're getting at the restaurant, let alone the amount of oil they're putting on it. So that's not, but
correct. So
you have to eat a lot of eggs to get a lot of protein in.
It's fine.
Yeah,
okay.
for
You
sure.
need 5 eggs at least in one sitting, which most people are like, oh, I can't do that. So if you want to get an omelet at a restaurant, I tell my clients, and I do this for myself, I know you do this, we add chicken to it.
Yep.
We add sausage to it. Maybe you add beans to it, but you add a variety of sources of protein because I guarantee you no restaurant is going to give you a 5-egg omelet.
No.
They're going to skimp on that because it's going to be too expensive for them.
100%. Yeah, I'll order a whole chicken breast on the side with the omelet and just cut it up and stir that in there. No problem.
And I'll usually add chicken or turkey or whatever meat they have back there into the omelet. And then I'll also add goat cheese.
I like to add avocado.
Oh yeah,
That's my
avocado's
go-to.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, avocado's amazing.
We always joke when I go to breakfast with Dan, I feel like the bill keeps getting higher and higher and higher because we keep ordering sides of everything.
A la carte.
Yes. The side of the avocado, the side of the chicken breast, the side of maybe some peanut butter. You want a little bit of that too. Like
I get a side of bacon every time too.
Yeah, exactly. And we're like, how are we spending this much at breakfast? It's because we have a million sides on top of our meal.
It's a whole a la carte breakfast.
Yeah, so good.
Well, and everyone thinks that bacon is another source. Like, well, I had bacon. I had eggs and bacon for breakfast.
Yeah.
It's like you have to have a lot of eggs and a lot of bacon to get your 30 grams of protein each meal. So we just want to make sure that everyone focuses on, if you ate 30 grams of protein each meal 4 times a day, you're getting 120 grams of protein.
Yep.
So that's all you would have to do. So
and that is,
what would that look like?
So 120 grams of protein, that is, so are you going for a gram of protein per ideal body weight, or are you calculating it based off of kilograms?
Yeah, great question. So I do grams based on ideal body weight or even current body weight, depending. I mean, if the person has a tremendous amount of weight to lose, they're not going to eat 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
But if they're, for most women, depending on where they're starting, I want them eating at least 120 grams of protein today to at least maybe 140.
Yes.
If they want to lose weight.
How much are you eating a day?
I'm eating at least 140.
I'm at least 140, sometimes 160.
I was going to say, sometimes I'm 150 or 160. And people are like, how do you do that? Because it's so satiating and it tastes good and I love it.
For sure. And another thing I think is really helpful is protein powder. If you need to sneak something in. So say you are going to brunch with friends, family, whatever, even if you take a scoop of protein powder with water just to get something going and then go have the rest of your breakfast, I think is a little bit of a cheat there, but at least helps you get to your goal. Sometimes even if I come home, like say I was at an event and they were serving appetizers, I'm probably not going to dive into the appetizers hardcore. I'll have some of the protein pieces, but none of the fried stuff, whatever. I'll skip it.
Yeah.
And I might get home and it might be not late, but later. I'll still decide to consume protein powder and some water, or maybe with a tiny bit of some sort of fat source, not a ton, but a little bit, just to make sure I hit my protein goal every single night.
Yes. And the other thing, because you mentioned it, I think is so important. I've said this to clients in the past. If you are going to an event or a party or going somewhere where they're not going to have good protein sources, taking a protein shake with you to drink in the car on your way there, not only will you not then go head first into the nacho bar because you'll be satiated, but you're going to make better choices. But you're also going to, if you don't get enough protein, you already had that on the way there. So that can kind of count for one meal. So just in terms of like how much time should pass within your 30 grams of protein, you really want to eat that 30 grams of protein, ideally within the hour. If you're getting past an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, that's a totally separate meal. So now you didn't do the I'm fully pregnant with 30 grams of protein. You only had 20. And then that didn't really count for a meal.
Yeah. So ideally for women, these are total averages. Again, everything is based upon your goals. But 120 grams for women, how much for men? I think men also undereat protein.
1,000%. Most of the men, I think the least amount of protein that I've ever put on a man's plan when I've created one for him was like 170. So usually it's 170 to 200. Some it's over 200 if they're bigger men, but I shoot for 180 for most men.
Perfect.
And the reality is, you guys, if you start to focus on, okay, so let's do the math on it. I have my phone here. So 180 and you're eating 4 times a day. So you're going to divide it by, no, what am I doing? I'm dividing by 30. So that would be, if you only had 30 grams in a meal, you'd eat 6 times a day. So if you need 180 grams of protein and you do 40 grams at each meal, that's 4.5 meals, or you could do 45, you know?
Yep.
So divided by 45, that's 4 meals. So 45 grams of protein 4 times a day for men. Or if you're like, I don't have time to eat 4 times a day, you know, you could do 50. So obviously if you have 50 grams, 50 grams of 50 grams, it's 150 grams of protein a day. That's dosed separately throughout the day. There is research that came out that said, remember, we don't have this upper protein threshold.
Yes.
So this was in the last year, maybe 2 years. I can't remember. I forget the timing, but we used to think like, oh my God, your body can only absorb this much protein.
You're going to kill your kidneys.
Yes. You're going to kill your kidneys. All sorts of myths that we've now discovered are not true.
Yeah.
So what the research shows is we actually don't have an upper limit. So if you can tolerate it, I think this is havoc in your digestion, but you do you could potentially eat 150 grams of protein in one sitting. I think you and I can do it. It's fine. It's fine. We love protein.
So my protein shake has 50 grams of protein in it every morning.
Oh yeah.
Like no problem.
Yes.
So that is like a really great way if you're a smoothie person.
Yep.
Get that 50 grams in.
Do you want to share how you make it? Because I love it.
Yes.
When I stayed with you, I had it and I loved it.
I put a little bit of kefir.
Yep.
In there. And usually it's grass fed. Either it's the full fat or the low fat. I don't care because I'll either add a fat source one way or the other. I add berries, either strawberries or raspberries.
Yep.
And then I put it as far as grams, I put it on the scale and measure out the grams of protein to make sure I hit 50.
Yeah. And by the way, here's this pro tip on that. And I tell people this all the time. It's like the best. If you're going to make this in the blender, which you are, put your blender on the food scale.
Yep.
And then set it to 0. And then just pour the protein powder in. You don't need to like level out the scoop, measure the scoop. It's so much easier to just weigh it on the scale.
Yeah. If anything, let that scoop heap a little bit. That's what I do.
Exactly. So a little more.
And then I'll put in, I should go get it. I found actually, I don't know if this is good or bad. I think it's good.
Oh, good. I'm excited. This will be fun.
Yeah.
Because he and I have made protein shakes for each other. I went to stay with her in Austin. She's come to stay with me in Nashville. And we love sharing like the tips and tricks that we learn. Okay, I'm excited.
Yes. Okay. So if I want to add a little bit of, this is our favorite peanut butter. We have no affiliation with any of these brands, by the way. Sorry, I should look here. Favorite peanut butter. It's called Fix and Fog. Why is this our favorite? It's because it's palm oil free, number one.
Yeah. So the ingredients, and it's high oleic, as I recall. So it's only high oleic peanuts and New Zealand sea salt, which is amazing.
That's it. So it doesn't have palm oil, any other weird oils.
We don't add
no sugar.
Yes.
Nothing.
Oh, I did hear about this. I haven't tried it yet.
This is what I add to my protein shake. So this protein shake, it kind of tastes like a peanut butter and jelly protein shake. It's really quite delicious.
Yep.
And this is called Good. It's no added sugar and it's a fruit spread. So it's like a jam. However, 1 tablespoon is 10 calories. That's it. Amazing. It's only 2 grams of sugar. And literally that's it.
Okay. So they sweeten it with stevia. So it's 66% raspberries, 17% apples, water, pectin, banana juice concentrate just for flavoring. Rowan berry extract. I've never heard of rowan berries.
I haven't either. Which one did I grab? Is that the raspberry?
Yeah. Raspberry. Okay. Lemon powder, natural raspberry flavor, stevia extract, and vitamin C. Amazing. So I have a peanut butter and jelly protein shake in my cookbook, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Because I use peanut butter and then raspberries. But if you want an extra berry flavor,
I like that. It adds like a little something.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really good.
Oh, it's brand new.
And you can tell, can tell, it's fine. I'll go through it. No problem.
Yeah.
It definitely is not obviously sweet. It does not have like a high sweet jam flavor, but that's okay.
Oh, it's not Smuckers?
No, yeah. Surprisingly, it's not going to rot your teeth.
No.
But this one I found this at Whole Foods. It's a brand new product, but I really do like it. It adds like a nice something to the protein shake.
And so just because, again, we're not doing affiliate stuff for this, but eventually I'm sure we'll have that. It's good. Good.
Exactly.
Amazing.
It's good.
That's great.
So that's what I do with my shake. And then I use, actually with that, I put in, people would think you could put in a vanilla protein powder, which would be fine, but I actually use the chocolate one, the chocolate peanut butter with it.
I do it. I use chocolate when I'm out of my vanilla, but I either like vanilla protein powder or that marigold peanut butter protein powder.
Oh yeah. Marigold peanut butter. Yeah.
The peanut butter is good too.
Yeah.
So it's basically kefir, berries,
frozen berries.
Yep. Frozen berries.
Organic.
I do that too. Yep. Organic protein powder, peanut butter, and then a little bit of this maybe as a extra.
Yes. And then I put a scoop of colostrum in it.
Okay. So you got your colostrum?
I did. I grabbed the colostrum. I had tried all sorts of brands of colostrum.
I know, me too.
Just in my opinion.
Bacon wanted to come and be on video.
I know.
Hi, buddy.
Bakey's
here.
He's like ready for his 3rd nap.
I love him.
The day. The colostrum world, I feel like it's a little bit like the Wild West.
I agree with you.
Yes. Yeah. So not all colostrums are created equal. I think some of the the highly marketed ones
Yes.
are a little
Yes.
sketch.
I agree with you. And not everyone tolerates colostrum well. It
Very
is dairy.
true.
There's
Yes.
dairy in it. So for people that don't do well with dairy, like you really have to be careful
Yes.
to not overdo colostrum. Yes, it can be very good for you. It can be equivalent nutritionally of like
Yes.
breast milk, goat's milk, those
Yes.
kinds of things.
It's not going to be like a hair growth miracle. Though.
No.
I don't.
No,
It may
I
help a
agree.
little bit.
Collagen, I think, helps with that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, like not like a total miracle. I think we're gonna get into hair growth like a different day too,
Perfect.
because there's like
Love
a
it.
million things going on with
There
hair
are.
growth, especially
There are.
like with menopause stuff.
And especially with people making lots of money off supplements.
Yes.
Mhm.
So again, there's no affiliation with this product. This is actually produced by two gentlemen who are supplement bodybuilding fanatics in the
Oh,
Twin Cities.
interesting.
It's called Regen.
I haven't seen that one.
And this is way cheaper than the Amras or the Wonder Cows. And they
Yep.
took those products and some other ones and had them third party tested to find that the immunoglobulins,
Yeah, the immunoglobulins.
Yeah.
Yep.
however you say that, immunoglobulins,
Yes.
goblins, we'll call it for short,
Perfect. I love it.
had literally almost less than 30% or less than 20% in some of those products.
You're kidding.
No.
That's
This
so
one
unfortunate.
is for sure guaranteed 50%. And literally, I think this was $35 compared to $100.
That's
Again,
amazing.
no affiliation. I
Right.
bought this on Amazon, paid full price. I'm
Awesome.
just starting it, but I know this has been 30-party tested. It
Just
says
to show
contains
that
milk
one,
on it,
it's
of course.
Regen.
Yep.
3+Gen. Contains milk, gold 50.
Yep.
By the way, I'm listening to you and Bacon is licking my leg my entire.
He does like to
He's
groom
so
people.
sweet. He's like, Auntie, you probably got to shower again. I promise I showered.
Oh
Showered.
no, he'll
Yeah.
just
I used
sit
to
and
wash my hair.
groom
That's what you
everybody.
I literally didn't wash my hair. You know what I need to do when I don't wash it? I need to like braid it or do something so it's not so stringy.
Oh, I know.
Yours
I
is
did
so good. It looks.
Oh, this needs to be washed today.
Well,
this is like
it
if
looks
it's
good.
deadline.
I'm just going to kind of hide my hair.
You know, when COVID happened, many of us started working from home. I work from home part time. The hair washing, you realize it's not so good to wash your hair every single day.
Because
but then there's also a limit on how many days you should be doing.
Trust me, it's scary some days how some weeks how long they go.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Same. Okay.
I'll
Also,
wash it.
creatine. Now creatine's finally on the map for.
It is. I just actually did a whole episode on this, but I will tell you, I use this one sometimes too, and I
Yeah.
used to recommend this one all the time. I now only use Keon. And here's the only reason for
Oh,
that.
okay, let me know.
I'll tell you why. So do you see how it says creatine monohydrate, 5 grams? There's other ingredients, which is great. I think Thorne is a great brand. They make great supplements. And the Keon one is made with Crea Pure creatine monohydrate. It's a registered trademark.
Yes.
And so the only reason I like Crea Pure better is I don't get the bloating and stuff from it. If I dose this 5 grams too quick, I'll sometimes notice some digestive discomfort.
You do. Okay.
So if you don't, then don't worry about it.
I don't.
But Crea Pure, some people do. So I just tell them to get that one if they do.
I did when I first started it, but I think I'm ramped
interesting.
up now that
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, it's
Anyway.
interesting. Have you seen some of the research now? Women are doing like 10 grams a day. They're doing 5.
I know.
They're doing 5 at night because it's so good for your brain.
Yes.
There's so much awesome research coming out about creatine. You guys, creatine is the most studied, literally the most studied supplement in the world. And there's hundreds of clinical research trials. There's one that I sent to all clients as a paper that came out in 2021 that I just love.
Yep.
And it cites over 300 papers in it. Now, I always tell people it's called Creatine in Health and Disease. That's the name of the paper. It's from 2021. You can just search Creatine Health Disease 2021 PubMed. You will find it on Google. They do have to do a disclaimer because it's partially funded by people who make creatine.
Okay.
But the fact that they cite so many other papers in it, from lowering your triglycerides, improving blood sugar regulation, good for your brain, cardiovascular function, obviously muscle building and development. It's so awesome.
And remember how many years they're like, women shouldn't take creatine because it might make you retain water.
Oh, I know.
That was forever. They were saying that.
They did. And I do think the creatines that were made in like the 80s and maybe even the 90s, they used to make them and add dextrose and stuff to them.
Oh, yeah.
There were fillers that probably did do that, but creatine monohydrate does not.
No, it
You
doesn't.
will retain water in the belly of your muscle, but you won't retain water like in your,
You won't. And you also find that when you are on this, you actually will feel the difference when you're lifting.
1000%.
Yeah.
I say if you used to fail at 10 reps,
Yeah.
now you can push out rep 11, rep 12, rep 13.
100%.
Because what it's doing is, and if you want to like nerd out on the science of it, I did a whole episode of it, but the short version of what it's doing is creatine. You can store 5 grams of creatine in every pound of muscle tissue on your body,
incredible.
which is insane.
Yep.
Because we have well over 100 pounds of muscle in our bodies, right? So you can store 5 grams. What you can't store in very large quantities in your body is something called ATP. That's adenosine triphosphate. It is your body's energy currency, and it is what literally gives you energy during your workout. So when I'll say, if you're in a shoulder press and you get to that rep and you can't do this anymore, part of what's happening is your body's running out of ATP. Creatine, because you can store so much of it in your system, it essentially rephosphorylates ADP, which is adenosine diphosphate, into ATP.
Yep.
So you get an extra gear in the gym, basically. Like, don't you notice it?
100% you notice it.
Yes. So I was always taking it before my workout when I go into my workout, and I still do that most days. But some people say you can just refill your stores right after your workout. So if you take it before or after, it doesn't matter. I just like to put it in my morning workout, especially because there was some clinical research that came out about creatine is the most effective when you have it with electrolytes. So electrolytes are your magnesium, sodium, potassium, chloride, and phosphorus. And I might have forgotten one of them. Magnesium, calcium? Sodium, calcium. Thank you. So if you have creatine with your electrolytes, so I just do my lemon water in the morning with my electrolytes and my creatine, along with 20 other stuff.
A lot of supplements going there. I've tasted that water. I'm going to give it, like, as far as flavor goes, I'm probably going to give it a 5, but I'm going to give it a 10 as far as a booster.
Yeah.
There's some sketchy flavors going on. Good. So that's like the morning protein regimen.
Right,
but
which is an easy way to get 50 grams in.
Easy. And by time I get home from the gym or even close to lunch, like, I'm ready to eat again. Like that goes through you so quick. 50 grams protein, no problem.
So then what's another meal you might have? Because you and I talk about this. We do a lot of similar meals.
Oh, yes. Protein is always first. So I'm either rotating that around. I'll do beef. I'll do axis deer that I hunted. That's an incredible source of protein.
Because it's very lean.
It's very lean. So I'll add fat to proteins that, of course, are very, very lean. So I'll cook with ghee, beef tallow, mainly those two. Sometimes, I don't know, coconut oil, occasionally, but not really.
Yeah.
And then I add some sort of fibrous vegetable. I love to eat kimchi, sauerkraut with meats. But I always eat the protein first. Like, that is number one that I go to. And then if I'm having a carb, which I will, because if I'm lifting, it will typically be fruit. And then also sometimes I will have white rice.
Yeah.
I will have that, but I also make sure that I eat that last, and I eat it cold.
Yeah, of course.
So one thing that I learned about rice is that if it's cooled rice, and I don't even reheat it very warm at all. I eat it still, no, I eat it still pretty much cold. It's the lower glycemic.
Yeah. So basically when you cook and cool rice, the properties, like the higher carbohydrates in rice, turn into resistant starch, which essentially is almost like fiber. So it really lowers the glycemic index. And if you can test it on a blood sugar monitor, cooled rice is much better than hot rice.
Yes.
And it's much better than sushi rice. People think, well, if I go to a sushi restaurant, should I just have rolls?
They put sugar water in their rice.
And it has sugar on it. Literally is like filled with sugar.
Yeah.
So you can, you
cheap meal.
Yeah. You test it for yourself, but it is a cheap meal.
Yeah. It tastes delicious, but it is, I don't ever consider that. I mean, how are you going to get 30 to 40 grams of protein from sushi rolls?
No, you're so full from the rice.
Yeah.
I get sashimi when I go to sushi restaurants, but given all the parasite cleansing in the last few years, I haven't done that either. I'm just
that's a whole other topic. We'll get to on a different podcast. Is like parasite conversation. Basically, that's it. I'm always just protein, veggies, and if I'm having
a source of healthy fat.
A source of healthy fat. And then usually my carbs, I'm eating them around at lunch because I lift before. I'll have carbs in the morning with the fruit.
Yep.
Carbs at the afternoon. And I take my carb content down as the day goes on, and I just replace those.
Yeah, I did because I lifted last night, which is unusual for me. I lifted at 6 o'clock at night.
Well, you're going to burn that right away.
Right. So when I came home, I can't remember what I had first. I made cauliflower, greens, and ground beef with olive oil in the skillet. It was so good. Yeah. And I just felt like I still needed something after. So I just spread 1 tablespoon of peanut butter. You know, we are with peanut butter. I had to weigh it. I put the damn banana on the food scale, weighed the banana first, and then did 1 tablespoon of peanut butter. And I was so
good.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah, banana like for a little dessert with some healthy fat on it. Oh, it's pretty good.
So good. Banana's great. But I would never, ever, ever eat that by itself. You would eat it with protein.
Yeah.
You have to have protein first, right?
And sometimes if I don't feel like cooking, if I get a little lazy, I will do the kefir, chia seeds, protein powder, and a Greek yogurt mixed combo.
I just made it before I left to come here.
Perfect.
Before we recorded, because I'll have that later today. I'll make the chia seed pudding. It's so good. And just if anyone wants to make that, I highly recommend this recipe, which is you just mix 3 tablespoons of chia seeds with, so that's 30 grams. And I'd like to talk in grams because we weigh everything.
Yep.
So 30 grams of organic black chia seeds, 180 grams of my favorite kefir, which Laura already talked about, which is the Alexander Family Farms. I use the low fat one lately.
I also like goat kefir.
Oh, goat kefir is
so good.
I don't know if I've had goat.
It's a little more tart, which I like.
I
love
like
it.
Tart, but I've only done goat's milk.
Oh, I love goat kefir.
Where did you find goat kefir?
Whole Foods, or if you're in Minnesota, at Lake Winds Co-op. Yeah.
Do you remember the brand?
I have it in my fridge. Let
me see it. Because I've only known that I've seen the goat's milk and the goat's yogurt, but I never buy the goat's yogurt because it's so low protein and it's runnier.
Oh, no.
You know?
This is going to change your life.
So this Redwood Farms, or is this the other? Oh,
No, Mayenberg, Redwood
Yes.
Hill.
Yes,
Previously.
That's what I mean.
This is amazing.
They do have a
Yeah,
kefir.
it's the best.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yep.
Okay, this is great. Previously Redwood Hill. Yes, Mayenberg bought them. I did hear that. Okay. Okay, certified humane.
It doesn't taste
filters.
like goat cheese either, because I don't
No, it
love
doesn't.
if something gets too goat cheesy.
milk doesn't taste like goat cheese.
No,
either.
and it's great if you have any sort of dairy
I'm
sensitivities.
So
but
excited
yes.
for that. Okay. That's
Goat
Mayenberg,
keeper,
goat kefir.
everybody.
I'm going to try that. So I've
Yes.
been using the Alexander Farm. So it's 30 grams of chia seeds, 180 grams of the kefir, whichever kind you use. And then I put a bunch of organic cinnamon in it too, because that helps with fat burning.
Yep.
It's just silly. And then you put that in the fridge for about an hour. You can even let it sit overnight because then it gets even creamier, which I love.
And really dense like a pudding.
Yes, it's very dense like a pudding. And then when I'm ready to eat it, I just put my bowl on the food scale and I add a serving of my protein powder, which depending on which brand, I usually use Marigold.
Yep.
But I have lots of protein powders. I've been
Same.
trying, you know what one I really like now?
Which one?
Just Ingredients. That girl, I can't remember her name.
Oh, yeah.
On
I've heard of that.
Instagram, I think that's her Instagram handle. I cannot remember her name right now. It'll come to me. But she came out with, so I found them at Whole Foods. She sells them there. I bought the vanilla and I bought the chocolate. And
I've seen that.
one of them, I can't remember if it's the vanilla or chocolate. There's so much fiber in it. It's 0 carbs.
Oh, interesting.
Because there's chia, it's whey and pea and chia seed. It's like a mix of all these proteins. So it's a really good amino acid profile. Anyways, I'm excited about it.
And also, I think we should mention that when you're talking about whey proteins, I am a whey protein isolate.
Yes.
The whey protein world is also
Yes.
like the Wild West. I'm not an advocate of whey protein concentrates.
Agreed.
I think it's the cheap whey protein. It's not as bioavailable. Is that correct?
That's my understanding.
Yeah.
Now I have heard some controversy on that because I do trust one of my really good scientific friends.
Sure.
He likes we'll come back to you on that.
Yeah.
because He says concentrate is actually better than isolate. He's told me this isolate. And I thought, you've got to be kidding me.
Because it just slower or something?
I don't know the answer to that. I'm going
Okay.
to have to look it up because I know that I watched a video on him talking about it, but it was like a year ago. So I've got to look that up because he also manufactures protein. So part of this
Okay.
could be self-interested because
Sure.
he's got concentrate in what he serves, but he is deep in the science on it. So I don't want to speak out of school. About it.
Yeah. We'll dig into more of that.
So then I
Anyway,
would stir
so-
that and then I would add berries. So I would
Perfect.
add 4 ounces, 6 ounces, depends. If I do raspberries, I mean, the amount of fiber, you guys, in this chia seed pudding, if you add a bunch of raspberries on top of it, is outrageously good. It's so good for
Well,
you.
there's 10 grams of fiber per tablespoon of chia seeds.
Right. And in a container of raspberries, like a 6 ounce
Yeah.
container, 11 grams of fiber.
It's amazing.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And then I top it with 2 tablespoons of peanut butter or a fourth of a cup, like 28 grams of walnuts or other nuts. I'll use
Yum.
like a heavier fat nut. Walnuts are so good in it. Yeah.
That sounds delicious.
And that
I just
just-
tried the walnuts.
It's so good. It's so good.
And that's like, you can eat that for dinner if you want.
For
Like,
sure.
That's just
I'll have
quick,
that for dinner
easy.
tonight.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
fast. It's not necessarily cooking, cleaning, whatever. But I think that's like,
I think we covered a lot.
and
We
how to
should
get the
maybe
protein
get
in.
maybe get a plug for our favorite Marigold bars because we love them.
Yeah. Marigold bars are very good.
They're so good. And you do have to keep them in the fridge, but
Or freezer. Mhm.
yeah, and I can't.
Which is
I
not
do
a
keep
bad
them in the
thing because
freezer.
it does not have preservatives. I am the protein bar situation.
That's another one.
Those are, that's totally Wild West. Consider that basically like a candy bar. Like if you
Yes.
flip it over, you're mostly either getting carbs and fats and very little protein. In the
Correct.
majority, anyone I flip over, I'm always like, no.
Same.
You have to either take protein powder on the road with you.
Yep.
And like when I travel to remote destinations, sometimes I'm surviving on protein powder and water and some fibrous something
Yeah.
for a couple days just to
Yeah.
get through. Cause the bars are not.
No, there's not.
So
They're
like
literally-
protein isolate chips in there. Mm-mm.
Yeah, they're like a candy bar.
Yeah.
Truly. Like I go to Whole Foods, there isn't one single one that I see on the shelf there that I'm like, oh, I could recommend this to clients.
The
Everything-
meat one,
Oh yeah, the meat one's okay.
but those are okay. And I've taken those, but
You
those are
mean
only
the Epic bars?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Epic bars. But that's only 8 grams of protein.
Correct.
For 130
Correct.
calories plus the sugar they put in
So
it.
what I tell my clients instead is like the Chomps beef sticks because they're grass-fed beef.
Yep.
And there's more protein in those sticks and they're 100 calories.
Yes.
Those are better. But like have that with a Marigold bar. Yeah. And that could be a meal because then you're
Totally.
getting enough protein, you know?
That's like when you're in survival mode. They
Right.
have the kids version, which I really like, from the chunks
love-
or whatever.
Oh yeah.
They have the pizza flavored ones.
Oh, I
And
haven't
they're
tried
little.
those.
Those are
Stop.
actually really good.
Okay,
Yeah,
that
they're
sounds
good. I'm not
amazing.
gonna lie.
Okay, that sounds amazing. Now I'm going to go get myself some pizza flavored Chomps. Oh, this is fun.
Super fun.
loved
Well, we're just getting started. We probably rambled on.
We would love it if you would give us your feedback on what you thought about this episode because we would love to bring you more episodes like this in the future. Bye-bye.